Wow, thank you. Welcome back, everyone. It has been a while, needless to say. But without further ado, here we go. Let's get right off into it here. It looks like that got this request here a while back for the Rotate MD-11 cold dark startup, and it took me a little while here to figure this aircraft out. Now, I want to say before we get started here, this is in no way, shape, or form um, to the checklist for pre-start and all that. I have not really located a checklist for it yet, but I am hunting. If you know where there is one, please post it into my comment section there. And as always, I am so glad to have all y'all here today to go over this with you. So let's get into it. And as you can see, we have the aircraft sitting here in the cold and dark state. And oh my God, Rotate outdid themselves on this one. Oh man, this is just one really nice aircraft here. I mean, it's just well done. Hats off. That's it. Okay. Open up the door, head out into the cargo section, all that. You know, I never have really even tried it to see if we can bounce out here into the cargo area or not. So, first time, let's try it. Let's see what happens, shall we? Let's just zoom right out here. Oh, look at there. We do have the area where we can go to that door over there, which we will be opening the door. Now with this aircraft, you have a drop down up here. Hopefully you can see this. Go to your plugins, go to Rotate MD-11, go to Aircraft Menu, and it pops up. And what we want to do is go to Ground Operations. And we're going to move this over here out of the way of the door because we're fixing to open that door. Now, when you first pop it up here, everything's offline, but the very first thing I wanted to make sure y'all do is this right here. Go to Options, and in the Options area here, click on Synchronize Barometer Setting on Co-Pilot side. Trust me, you're going to want to do that. It's just so much simpler if you do that. Okay, and then you must do is go down here and check on Use Hardware Controller Toe Brakes. If you don't, you won't have any brakes. It's just not going to work. Okay, so make sure you have those two checked and then save your options. And I pretty much do this every time I come in on this airplane just to make sure that it's there and it's working properly. Then you have your load manager here, which we'll get to that here in a minute, and ground, and then you can also do failures if you want. Pretty much like my airplane just to work. Okay, at least till I get to know it much better. But anyhow, here we go, ground operations, and we need to request the power. And let's get some stairs out there. It's kind of hard for them pilots to get up here in the airplane unless you're a certain president. Oh, I did not say that. Anyway, retract. I know. Oh my goodness. Anyway, bad pilot. Here we go. We got that all set now, and now we're gonna go move this out of the way so we can watch this. We're gonna open the door. Look at here. The door is opening, and we can see the stairs out there. All cool, all good. And now we're going to want to open up the rest of the plane here and get it ready for loading. Turn the lights on in the cargo hole. And now then we can pop this over to load manager, and we'll bounce out of that for just a second here, and let's go back up into the front of the aircraft. Okay, now we have power going to the aircraft. First thing we want to do is we want to go to the overhead panel up here, this conglomerated mess. First thing, go to batteries, open the little cover, turn on the batteries, close the cover, arm the emergency batteries here, get that armed, and then come over here to external power and turn it on and let it start doing its thing. And in the meantime, go up here and turn on our navs, get them all on and going. And you're going to hear this little fire test up here in this little corner. In case you missed it, we'll do it again. It does that automatically when you turn on the navs here, so don't freak out. And then we can go over here and we can do another self-test right here. Hold this button down and then release. Now that's good. Okay. Now what we're going to need to do is go down, and you see the little directional arrows down here on this section of the floodlight area. We're going to turn that one all the way up, turn this one all the way up, and if it's a dark cloudy day you can turn on some lower controls. If you're looking for lower control lighting and so forth, this is upper and this is lower, the little black knobs there. Okay, alright, and then we're going to go for emergency lighting, turn that on. Go ahead and click on your seatbelt stuff and then go over here to defog and turn that on. And that's all we need to do right here for this minute. Now we need to go down here and we'll go over here and kill this. It's going to come back on, don't freak out, but it's going to come back on. Anyway, lighting on if you want it on. And by the way, the yoke stays there. It doesn't get out of your hair or out of your way. It stays there, just so that you know that. And then we need to go here to this little compartment. We have a few things we need to do here. Gyro here, put the little hand on it and get it to level out there. Now you see the landing gear is all locked in red here, so you have an up arrow and a down arrow. Go with the down arrow here. Make sure it's down arrow, don't raise your landing gear. Down arrow, click on it, it unlocks it and turns it all green there. Okay. Then on auto brake, go ahead and set it to rejected takeoff. And now your speed brake here, you're going to need to arm it as well. And the way you do that is you don't go moving the handle or anything like that. You have a little hand that pops up. See the arrows here? Go far enough up and the hand will pop up. Hold the hand down and raise it forward. That arms it. Okay, and you do that for takeoff and landing on this plane. Both takeoff and landing. Okay, now let's drop down here and we can go to TCAS, and if you'll notice it's got a number here. You can push any old number, then hit clear, and there's that number again. Hit clear again and it goes away. Then put in your number. I'm just going to put in this one for right now, and then we can turn it all the way over to TARA, and that's set. Your weather radar, which is here and here where it says SYS 1 and 2, and then weather, turbulence map, blah blah. You cannot set that until you are ready for takeoff or in the air. If you do, it's going to give you warning signs and not be happy with you. Okay, now with that being done, oh my goodness, I went the wrong way. Okay, now flap setting on this aircraft is very strange. not fun at all. You have a dial system. I'm told that it's like I think an MD-80 or something of that nature. But anyway, you have this dial for the flaps here, and it can be really obnoxious. So, rule of thumb, 15 if it's light, 22 if you're heavy. We're going to be heavy today, so we got to bring it to 22. So we'll scroll up here and try to get it to go to 22, which it does not want to do today. Okay, it's close enough. We'll leave it right there. Otherwise, it's going to drive us insane trying to get it there. If you know any better ways of doing that, drop it in the comment box, please. That's one of my pet peeves with this airplane. I don't know. I just don't like it. There we go. Okay, now we need to go. We need to go here first, and we're going to go down here to the little display area, and we're going to push hydraulics. Click on that. As you notice up here, it just popped up the hydraulics screen. And now we're going to do a hydraulics test. And we go up here to the very top where it says hydraulic pressure test. Open the cover, hit the test button, and close the cover. That's it. That's all you got to do. Leave that be. Now, come back down here, and you can see the pressure test doing its thing. A lot of people say, oh, you can go right ahead and continue doing whatever you're doing while it's doing that. I've tried it both ways, and it works much better just to wait until it gets done with its test and then move forward. So it takes it just a minute here, so we will just be here for now. And in the meantime, I'll throw out a little punch out there in the world. If you are a major virtual airline enthusiast like I am, and you don't have a home, or you have a home that you're not happy in, and you wish to find a new airline to go fly in, well, there's several, probably 100 of them out there. I have no clue, but there is lots of them. But I would like to send you in the direction of where a good friend of mine has started up a brand new VA, and he was the owner of the prestigious Delta virtual airline, the one with like 2,000 members, blah blah blah, all this. Well, he recently wanted a new challenge. He wanted to try something different, and being as he's from Canada, he wanted to start a Canadian virtual airline. So he and I have teamed up together. He is the owner, me as a board of director of his, and good friends, really good friends, and getting it off the ground and going. So with that being said, if you would like a really nice place to go and a good environment, just come on over to WJA, that's Whiskey Juliet Alpha Virtual.org, and come join up with us. We'd love to have you come fly. Anyhow, with that being said, we are now ready to move forward. That was long enough to get through our hydraulics test. Alright, very good. Now, next thing we want to do is, let's just go back here, click on engine, and bring that back to the engine screen. Okay, all of that is done. Let's go up top here and look and see what we got going on. Okay, everything is looking good. Nothing on the navs up here flashing at us or anything. There's no warnings going off. Looks good. You can turn on, if you'll notice, they look like they're all off. The left and right turn off lights are off. you'll need to turn them on. Nav light, however, is on. If you click on it, it will go off. Logo light, you can turn it on or turn it off. I always just turn it on. Your beacon and your high intensity. Raise your hand if you know what the high intensity is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, for the rest of you who don't know what that is, that's your strobes. Okay, that's your strobe lights. You don't turn on the beacon or the strobes until you get to the runway. Okay, on this aircraft, for the fun of knowing that knowledge. Alright, we have this all set. Now what we need to do is now we need to load the aircraft, don't we? Okay, so let's bring up our little plug-in drop down for the plane here again. There it is. Alrighty, and now we need to put in the information. Total payload we got to put in, block fuel we got to put in, taxi we got to put in, and trip fuel we have to put in, and then load it into the aircraft. Now I've already got the plan pulled up. This flight is from Dallas Fort Worth to Miami, so I'll pop over here and see what the payload is going to be. It's going to be 178,790. So 178,790. Enter. Enter. There it is. Block fuel is going to be 67096. 67096. Enter. And standard amount of taxi fuel for this aircraft is 2,000 pounds. So 2000. Enter. And now trip fuel. Got to go back here to our sim brief and look again, and our trip fuel for this air flight is 39,904. Okay, 39,904. Enter. There, it's all done now. Now, when we click, we got to go to apply load configurations and so forth. If you'll notice, your configs are well within limits. If they were way out here, they'd be in an orange color, be out of whack. You'd need to go back and check and see what's going on there. Okay, load it, and you could probably see the plane do a little bit of a sync there as it's getting loaded. But we still have to do one thing, which is say yes, we're going to go and load it. Let's close this a minute and go outside because I want to show you something. And take a look. This is what this beauty looks like outside here, and you can see the doors are open and the cargo doors all open. And now let's bring our little drop down back out here. There we go. And now we can say call ground up and tell them request fuel and request
Sending
our load.
Service now.
And look at here. Now they're bringing the cargo to the plane, getting it all set up, and they're going to load it. And you can actually watch them put the load on, and when they're done, they will close the door. Isn't that cool? That is just too cool. And in the airplane the freight goes. Now the only thing they do is they just do these 4 right here. Typically in a real flight there would be a lot more than just 4 of those things. But anyhow, they do it just for the showing of how it actually goes on. And we'll watch it do its thing until it finishes. Okay, as soon as it gets that on, then it's all gonna close up the door and move the equipment away, and plane will be loaded. And you can see the pilots sitting up in there in the cockpit doing their thing, getting everything all ready. Alright, There we go. Doors are closing. Equipment being removed. There we go. That's that. It's done. Now we can close this back off and go back inside the aircraft. And now at this point we need to start in on the MCDU. MCDU on this aircraft is complicated, needless to say. It is a cross between the I want to say the Boeing and an Airbus. That's where that's at. But for cold dark startup, this is it. The plane is now started up here and ready for input on that. And then you'll need to learn how to set up a flight plan in this aircraft, because it's also like the MD-11 from what I understand. It sets up the same way of how to put your flight plan to where it's going to be going to and all in here. Alright, next video on this aircraft will be just that. We will go through the setting up the MCDU for the flight and getting her all ready to go. Everyone have a great day. Hope you enjoy the video. Do that smash and like thingy and show me some love there. Subscribe. Please subscribe. I need subscribers really, really bad. Anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate everyone being here, and have a great day.